Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. I have a fun little video. You know, we're into the time of year where we start baking and we're gonna have get-togethers and have our families over and we're gonna be celebrating together. So I thought I would share with you what some of my favorite cookbooks are, not only for appetizers and main dishes, but for baking. So the first book I'm gonna start out with is Perfect because it's the Rachel Ray 2468 Great Meals for Couples or Crowds. Now, I love this book because most of the time I'm cooking for my husband and I and our 2 kids. So I can use the recipes out of the 2 or the 4 section. I guess I should explain what that means. The recipes are divided up according to 2, 4, 6, or 8 people coming over, or however many servings that you need. So of course you could double the 8 or the 4 or whatever. But I think that's a very, very neat idea to have it set up that way, because for most of the time I'm either doing 2 or 4. But when I'm having people over, it's nice to have a recipe already figured out with like the conversions and how many, this or that I need to make the recipe. So I love that. Not only that, but these are all 30-minute meals. I love a 30-minute meal. I really enjoy cooking, but at this stage in my life, when I have 2 little ones, it's really hard to be in the kitchen for an extended period of time without them under your feet and this and that, and things always go wrong when you get in the kitchen. So I love this cookbook. I love the way it's designed. Her recipes are all recipes like food that normal people would have in their kitchen. It's not like chef type ingredients that you can't find at your local grocery store. So that's another reason why I love Rachel Ray. She makes it easy, she makes it simple. The ingredients are things you can find, and most of the recipes don't have pictures. I love cookbooks with pictures, but she does have a section here in the middle that kind of displays some of the food and the pictures to go along with it. But the recipes are all really easy and laid out. She gives like little tips here, depending on what the recipe is, like an easier way to go about doing it. But she also has all of the ingredients. I don't know if you can see that, but the actual ingredient is in bold. So it's really easy to read or to skim over to see if ahead of time if you have all those ingredients. I love this cookbook. The next one is also by Rachel Ray, and this is her 365 No Repeats. This is another 365 recipes, 30-minute meal style. So I love this cookbook. There's some I've made some really yummy things out of here. She also has like some fun things that I found only in her cookbooks where you can mark, I've tried this, or it's a keeper. So you can mark if you've tried it and if you really liked it, or if you didn't like it, then you don't have to mark it. But this one also has, like, the center of it has pictures, and then it references the recipe number, so you can easily find it. But I want to eat that right now. That looks really good. But I love this cookbook. I think it's 30-minute meals, 365 of them. Nothing's the same. Great go-to cookbook. Next, if you own a crock pot, you need a crock pot cookbook. I use this all the time, especially for meats. I find that the recipes in here are all things that you either grew up on or your grandma cooked for you. They're all really simple things, but yet because it's a crock pot cookbook, it gives you, like, if you want the slow version, like the longer version, or if you want the higher version, and it gives you how many hours either recipe needs to be on. It gives you the servings, it gives you the prep time, it gives you the slow cooker time, it gives you last minute cooking time. It pretty much just lays it all out for you. So if you own a crock pot, you need a crock pot cookbook. And this one is Fix and Forget 50 Slow Cooker Recipes. I love this book. Perfect. This next one is not one that you can just go out and find anywhere, and that is because it came from my local church. And most people that I know, either whether it be through kids, through school, through different activities your kids are involved in, most of the time you have the opportunity to gather recipes from your friends and family and put them together into a cookbook. And I love that because you know that these are tried and true recipes that people have fed their families. They're going to taste great, they're going to turn out great, and you don't have to worry about whether it's going to work for you or not. It simply is. So this one just happens to be, I know some of my subscribers probably own this cookbook. It's a great go-to cookbook because we're from up north, so there's some venison recipes in here. There's also cakes and cookies, and stuff like this is just fun because you know that these are going to be good recipes that are going to work for you, especially cookie recipes with baking season, and you want to make sure, you know, you're not going to make something and then it's not going to turn out. These are going to turn out and they're more than likely going to taste delicious. My last cookbooks are from Taste of Home. Now, I love Taste of Home. I get their magazine, it's really, really cheap, and I think I got it on a deal, like a 2-year subscription for $3.99. I know, crazy good deal. I keep all the magazines. They are all recipes from people like you and me who send it in and they print it out in a cookbook. So the first one is the Taste of Home Fast Fixes with Mixes. These are all recipes using at least one ingredient that comes in a package that you just open up and create a meal out of. 355 recipes from appetizers to main dishes to soups, sandwiches, and desserts, cakes, cookies, breads, anything like that. But I love it because it's all from like mixes, so like semi-homemade, I guess you could coin it as. So you know, they're not necessarily from scratch, but if you only have a few minutes to throw together a pot of soup, this is your cookbook. I love it. I think it's great. I've used a lot of the desserts out of here. If you have young children like me, my daughter is starting to like to help me in the kitchen. A cookbook like this is great because most of the, like if you want to make some cookies with her, most of the ingredients are things you're just going to have to open up. It's quick and it's simple, but yet at the same time you're getting her in the kitchen and she's learning with you. So if you don't like to do everything from scratch, try this cookbook. It's really fun and has a lot of really good recipes in it. Okay, the next one I picked because we just got over Thanksgiving, now we're heading into Christmas, and before we know it, it's going to be St. Patrick's Day, and then it's going to be Easter. So this cookbook is great. Taste of Home puts out a cookbook every year. But they also put out a holiday cookbook every year. This one happens to be the 2006 edition. Look at that, that looks good. I hope my turkey turns out like that. So anyways, this cookbook is all broken down into holidays and celebrations, from Christmas Eve to Christmas cookies, your main Christmas meal, Thanksgiving, Easter. It has all of your recipes broken down according to that holiday. So the recipes and the food choices are kind of like what you would traditionally serve at those times of years. But there are also some other things that I didn't eat at Easter that, hey, maybe I'll try cooking that at Easter. But what I like about this cookbook is not only do they have the recipes catered to that specific occasion, but they also give you decorating ideas. They give you pointers of like when to do what on that day, like, you know, in the 8-hour countdown, in the 2-day countdown, when to defrost your turkey, how to defrost your turkey. I love the decorating ideas because that just makes things even more fun, especially for little ones. They love when you just get all into the whole theme. 4th of July, they have recipes for their decorating idea, table, like different table settings, and I think this is a really fun cookbook. Someone that really likes to get into specific holidays and celebrations and do a lot of cooking and decorating, this would be a really nice gift. And like I said, they put one out every year. I have more than one of these, but I just grabbed this one because we're going to be eating turkey soon, girls. And my last one is still Taste of Home, but this is their regular cookbook that they put out every year. Now, like I mentioned before, these are all recipes that are sent in from people like you and I. Every recipe has a little sentence or something to say about why that person chose that recipe, who they are, and where they're from, which just makes it even more personal. The reason I chose this one specifically is because I make Christmas cookies out of here, and some of my annual ones that I make are these dipped ginger snaps. Oh my gosh, those are so good. They're like a soft ginger snap, and then you dip them in melted white chocolate. I've also made these pinwheel cookies. Those just look really cute and festive. Those are simple. And I've made these chocolate mint wafers. If you like mint and chocolate cookies, then this is the cookie you should make this year. You can also go on Taste of Home's website online, and you could probably find some of these, but I really like to have the cookbook handy just to reference when I'm baking, and it's just traditional. And you know, before the whole computer age, it's just nice to have the cookbook to pass on to your daughters. This actually came from my mom, so I will be passing this on to my daughter when she starts, you know, getting old enough to move out and start doing her own cooking and whatnot. So those are my favorite cookbooks, some of my favorite brands, favorite people. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye guys.